October is my very favorite month, so today I'm bringing you along to one of my very favorite places, our local forest, and we're going to get some creative inspiration so that we can do these fun and simple tree doodles together. These trees are a great way to practice your creative skills, so let's get started. Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Shayda and today we are welcoming you from the forest. If you haven't heard me mention this, autumn is my favorite season and I know so many of you agree with me on that one. It's just a really special time of year, especially in Canada. After the hot summer, you get this wonderful chilly season of cozy things, and Chris and I are out for a little walk in the forest on one of our favorite trails. It's about 6 p.m. so we're out here after the work day and there's a chill in the air. My hands are a little bit cold, but that's okay because I have all these big cozy layers, and the leaves are changing. There's a lot of red and yellow right now, a lot of fallen leaves, and it's really quiet, and the light is really beautiful at this time of year as well. So anyways, all that is to say that today we are going to illustrate trees. And trees are a really fun thing to work on, especially as an adult illustrator, because you get to hone in on your creative skills and really challenge yourself as an artist. Because you've been drawing trees since you were a kid, most likely, so they're a very, very familiar form. But today we're gonna push ourselves to illustrate them in a bunch of new and different ways. That's exactly what I'm going to do, and I hope you'll join me. So let's head back to the studio after Chris and I go for a little hike, and let's draw some trees together. Trees are definitely something that I see, but I don't see. And when I started thinking about illustrating them, I really started looking at them and noticing their differences. And of course, there's coniferous and deciduous, and they're all different shapes and sizes. And so those are the things I'm going to be thinking about as we head back into the studio. Today I'll be working in my art journal. This is from Had Drawn Epoch. I'll link that in the description. But I've done a little grid here. I've got 9 little lines. There's 7 squares each in length. It makes a nice grid of 9. And I'll be working with my Pigma Micron fine liner. This is the 05 nib, just sort of the perfect size for a project like this. And I'll start by tracing over the line that I've already laid down in pencil. And my first tree I'm going to create by doing this kind of oblong shape, this rounded square around the initial line, and then I'm adding these diagonal lines for branches. And then I continue to break up the space by adding little lines, and they sort of look like branches. It almost creates a stained glass pattern, and I get this cute little tree doodle. Let's do another. I am starting with the line in the center and then some branches going off on each side. And then this one's really simple, especially if you love drawing leaves like me. We're just doing these little pairs of ovals to look like leaves. It almost looks like the flowers and leaves that we doodle, but of course it is a stylized little tree doodle. And that's the fun of this. You can really stylize these trees. They do not need to look realistic whatsoever. For this triangle tree, I am working in pencil first, so you're welcome to work things out in pencil. If you're not comfortable, then just go over it in pen. And this one I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to do some horizontal lines after I've finished my contour drawing, and that'll add that nice element of detail. Next one, I'm going to do another, I guess, coniferous tree, and we'll start with our triangle. Start in pencil, go over it with the fine liner, and then for this one, I'm also going to do a horizontal design, and well, I'll add some little dots here to really bring it to life. And you're welcome to follow along with me. I hope you do, but I also hope you'll try this for yourself and use it as an exercise to really stretch your imagination. Come up with your own trees once you've followed along with me. This next one starts kind of with a cloud-like shape around the center line. Then, just like the first one, we're going to divide that space up with these branches, these lines that indicate branches. I'll add a couple more of them. And then, unlike the first one, we're going to continue our line shading, and we're going to further divide this space with line shading. And so I am going to do some vertical lines here. And then when I get to the next section, I'm going to do more lines, but I'm going to make sure that they're at a different angle. You'll notice some of them I place really tightly together, some of them I space a little further, and we'll get a nice difference in each section of our tree by simply varying our line shading. And my lines are not perfectly straight. It might look like it, but they are not, so don't worry about perfection with this one. All right, moving on, we'll start with our line in the center, and then I'm going to do these U shapes. The ones on the bottom are much smaller. And again, I'm doing pairs of little oval shaped leaves to make this cute little tree doodle. This one is really simple and fun, and I love the way that it looks. Okay, let's do another. I start with the center line, and then this one, I don't know, this one kind of reminds me of a poodle. It has these big oval shaped sections. I just do a branch, and on each branch I place these dark circles that I color in, and the branches kind of go off in every which way, and it's really random and really funny. For this one, I am not drawing the entire center line. You'll notice I've added a rectangle to the top part. And then I thought it would be fun to do a scallop design. I love scallops. It's just such a beautiful pattern that's found in nature, but it's so sophisticated at the same time. And so I am filling in with my scallop lines here, and I could leave it at that. That looks nice, but I think I'll continue the pattern. And again, I'm not going for perfection here. Some of my lines are not even, and that's okay. That's not what you're going to notice when you look at this little doodle piece as a whole. So add as much or as little line shading as you like. And for the last tree, I am going to do a fun little pine tree, another coniferous, and I'll add these little curving lines going off in pairs. And then I just add these little V shapes, like little bird feet or something, and that creates that tree doodle. Okay, there is my grid of 9 little illustrated trees. I hope you followed along or came up with your own. Now we're going to jump over to the next page and do a little grid of 4 trees. And we'll use some markers to add a little bit of color. Yes, color. But of course, we will have some warm gray in there as well, so as not to get too colorful. I'm going to start by adding the color blocking, and I will go over these in pen, but not until after I've laid down the color. So I've got my pencil line there to guide me, to show me where the tree doodle is going to sit, and then I am blocking out some color on top of that line. So I'm doing, you know, some triangles, some rectangles, some circles. You can do any shape you like and just line it up with your pencil line where you're placing your tree trunk. And use whatever colors you like. I'm using a pink and a yellow to sort of represent the fall colors. And then once I've laid down the marker, I will go over it with pen, and this is very similar to what we just did on the other page. You'll follow that pencil line and you can create any sort of doodles that you like. You can follow the color block that you laid down, or you can defer from it. For this pine tree, I really went with it. The lines really follow the marker. But for this one, I'm going to stray from that circular shape, and I'm going to do kind of a cloud shape up top in pen here, and then I'll add some details in the middle, 3 little curving lines, and I'll do those little oval shaped leaves that I love so much and that are so easy and achievable. For my third one here, I'm not going to use the color at all to outline, but I will follow it when I place my pattern within it, if that makes sense. So I didn't do an outline on this one. I'm letting the color wash be the outline, and then I just place a nice doodly design within that yellow space. And this one is really fun. Again, the oval leaves, simple and detailed, but easy to do. And for the very last one, I won't trace the entire pencil line. I am going to do this fun, bubbly scallop pattern to finish off this deciduous tree. He's so cute. And I think for this one, I'll add a few little branches there. I haven't done that, and that is certainly a good idea. Well, I hope you enjoyed drawing trees with me. I hope that maybe you followed along, but I really hope that you'll give yourself a chance to come up with your own tree doodles, because once you start drawing them, they're very fun and they're very doable, and you really give yourself a chance to use your imagination and hone in on your creative skills and push yourself a little bit. Thanks for art journaling with me today, and thanks for joining me on my forest walk. I hope you'll give this channel a subscribe, and I will see you soon with a new tutorial.